Welcome to Creating Buzz, an A2 podcast, where we're going to be diving into the world of content marketing, commerce, and all things digital. We'll be talking to the people who are actually making it happen every day, from brand builders to measurement partners. You'll hear the real insights from the inside world of retail media. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Creating Buzz podcast. My name's Adelia. I am here with Lisa Hasselbeck.
Hi.
And we are going to chat all about the industry, content creation, and just like lots of fun, buzzing things going on right now. So Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's a fun day.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited for this. Yeah, we've already been chatting a little bit, and we've got some really fun topics for you. So first up, Lisa, tell me about yourself, your career, and also we recently have been using a new word, lore. So tell me about your lore.
So I have adopted lore from you. I would say I started off under a different name on Instagram. I was QueenCityKeto. Most of my content was based upon just showing meals that I would make. And they were all centered around like a keto diet. And that was for years and years and years. I would never show like an ice cream, anything. And the way that everything has pivoted since then is wild. So that's kind of how I got my start, and then transitioned from there into QueenCityLisa from QueenCityKeto, and just kind of started documenting my life on Instagram, what my family was bopping around town doing, where we were going, what we were eating, new places we were checking out, and during that time, kind of worked all sorts of jobs. I was a lunch lady. That's part of my lore. And so the lunch lady content really seems to hit with people. They love like all the stacking up of little things on a tray. And that just, for some reason, really draws people. They love that. And so, and now just kind of more just showing my life and what we're using in our home, and, where we're going and how we're utilizing certain products in our home. And so that's kind of the evolution.
Nice. Cool. So we were talking a little bit earlier about like having kids, being a mom, and then also doing content. Tell me about like your work-life balance, and also what your content looks like now, and kind of like a little bit a look into your day-to-day within it.
Yeah. So I have a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old, and my 12-year-old has been, I would say since she was little, I've been, doing Instagram. Kind of since the beginning, I've sort of made a point to not really show their faces online. I keep their names private. It was just something my husband and I kind of had a conversation about one day. Especially, I all of a sudden just took off out of nowhere one day, and people started like I would go into a store and people would recognize me. And I used to really do my nails really cool, and I had a woman recognize me because of the way my nails were done. And as an adult, there is, and I'm sure that you kind of get this, there is a look that people give you like when you're in the store and they recognize you. And they know you, but they can't quite place where they know you, and then they're like racking their brain like, how do I know? I've seen that woman's nails before. I've seen something about, and they're like, oh, I follow her on Instagram. And then when I kind of, thought about it, I was like, in a lot of instances, they know people's, the like insides of their homes, and they know, their kids' names and where they go to school, and they're showing them get picked up at the bus stop. And there's a lot of like a safety part of it that I've kind of tried to protect and kind of shield my own kids from. And it was just sort of like a discussion that my husband and I had, and it kind of made sense. And then as they got older, it kind of, and as, everything has evolved since then, and social media has just become more and more and more. For me, I like kind of keeping their identities a little secret. Like I just show glimpses of childhood is kind of how I look at it. And for me, it's kind of a fun challenge to show like the essence of childhood, or some bubbles or some chalk, or, just a little hint of childhood, and not necessarily the whole thing. And so I think some people might take that as, I don't know, like a hindrance or like a barrier, but I love it, and I think it makes things more interesting and more fun. I have really cute kids. They're gorgeous, and like I would love to just put them all but it's kind of fun for me to do just like those little hints of like a childhood experience and show motherhood and not really show the whole thing. In the end, it's, my decision to be on there. And so until they kind of are at an age where I feel like they can make that decision and the ramifications of that, it's my personal decision just to kind of keep it, kind of chill as far as what I show on there. Then you said like the work-life balance. I think when I was working, outside of the home and, doing lunch ladies and doing other jobs, and I would cater and I would do all sorts of stuff, it was definitely a lot more difficult. I had to very much plan, okay, from this time to this time, it's when I have to create content. And it was specific blocks of time, and I had to, but we don't have childcare. I don't really have, it's my husband and I, and we're kind of on our own. And so it would be like, all right, from this time to this time, you got the girls, go to the pool, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to shoot this ad, and I'm going to do this. And so that has, really been kind of how I've done things, up until now. But now that I'm kind of doing this as a full-time thing, I have a little bit more freedom to shoot, like in the middle of the day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So first up, like, y'all were kind of pioneers within sort of privacy online. Because I feel like it wasn't until post-COVID maybe that people really started to like pay attention to what was going on in the industry around children and things like that. Like for me, I am so grateful that my daughter was born in 23. Yeah. And I think if we had her like even a couple of years before, I probably would have not been as aware of just like all of the different things going on within that. And so like what year would you say it was that you like first like set those boundaries? And then how has it been, especially like, with working with brands and maintaining those?
From the get-go, I've really not shown their faces. From the start, when I was more, keto and, food-based, and a lot of the beginning part of my journey was focused on weight loss. And so it was a lot about me at that time. And it wasn't really, back then, you didn't really talk about the other facets of your life. Like when I first started, it was literally you posted a picture of a plate and what you were eating. Real disordered feeling now, but it was back then, that was what you were doing. And you'd post a plate if your food, and it would get, thousands and thousands of likes for a plate of food. And so when I first started, it wasn't really, showing up, like showing what laundry detergent we use and showing how I'm doing my laundry. Like that wasn't even a part of it back then. It was, at least on my end and on my little, circle of the internet, it was just showing like food and working out. And so my kids really didn't play a part. And then it wasn't until kind of a few years later that I started to kind of people would ask random questions about like, oh, I saw this in your house. Why did you go with this, tile in your kitchen? Or, I had a woman ask me about the spacing on my grout the other day on my tile. Like just the like very interesting little questions. And then it all kind of feeds into that, and different products and, different things that I'm using when I make dinner. And then it slowly started to evolve into, showing the whole aspect of our household and our family, and then kind of trying to protect that at the same time.
Yep. Because it's kind of like, is your personal brand the niche, or is it your life and letting people into, all of the different things going on? Right. And also, it's like all sorts of different stories. Like you mentioned earlier about with kids. I feel like a good way to put it is like it's fun to show childhood or to show parenthood and show like your own experiences. But it's another thing to share your kids' stories. Right. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've heard people online and they'll talk like speak poorly about their kids, and I just imagine those children hearing things like that. Yeah. I'm like, can you imagine there's a video of your mom online and millions of people have have seen it. And of her speaking poorly about, like, it breaks my heart. Mm-hmm. And so I'm very protective of, I keep it very tight.
Yep. That's smart. And then going back into both work-life balance, and then we'll get into a little bit with working with brands. I'm curious, when did you go full-time with content, and how did that journey look? How has that looked since then?
All right, so I'm trying not to cry. Oh, okay. My dad. Oh, goodness gracious.
Aww.
Okay. Sorry. My dad got diagnosed with leukemia. Oh, gosh. Okay. My mom had a stroke. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. And it just kind of worked out. I was lunch dating, and I was doing all these things, and kind of, oh, goodness, I didn't know. Sorry. I didn't know that would get me. Okay. Woo.
It's okay.
And so I was doing all these things and showcasing our life and lunch dating and running around like a crazy woman. And my mom and dad both got sick. And at the same time was the strangest thing. Ooh, I might need a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Woo.
Would you like some water?
No, I'll be okay. Okay. Woo. All right. I got it. Every time.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. No, it's just saying it for some reason. It gets me. Okay. All right. How bad's the mascara running?
It looks good. I don't.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Oh. Okay. It was coincidentally at the same time that their health kind of went south that all of these opportunities kind of started falling on my lap, and my life. It was the weirdest thing how it worked. I needed the time to be able to take them to doctor's appointments and things like that. And with my 9 to 5 schedule, it just wasn't an option. And so my husband and I, we kind of talked, and he was like, I think you should go for it. He's like, you've been doing this for years now, and hustling at night and hustling in the morning and on the weekends. And he's like, I think you can do this. Man. What are you, Oprah?
Sorry.
And so I made the decision. I was like, we're going to jump and we're going to do it. Mm-hmm. And if I fall on my face, I fall on my face, and we can pick right back up and find something else. But I'm going to give this, I think this is the universe kind of telling me this is the time to do it. And if not now, then when are you going to do it? And it kind of all came to be at this really weird kismet-y time. And so far, so good.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, it's been wild.
Mm-hmm. And how long ago was that?
It has been, he got his diagnosis about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, wow.
The past year has been, he had a stem cell transplant, and that's super intense and super aggressive, but he's doing really well. So
good.
It's been, yeah. So it's all hopefully working out.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And plus, wow, 2 years.
Yeah.
Of full time.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. I've been very grateful, very lucky. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so nice, the flexibility with family, and plus, it really puts things into perspective, the time that you have with people you love, both your parents, your kids, your husband, everything.
And I will say, from a content creator perspective, and something that's been very eye-opening to me, it's the number of people who, I'm 41 right now, I'll be 42 soon, the number of people in my demographic who are now kind of at this middle ground of they're caring for children, they're getting ready to start caring for, parents, and they're maybe already caring for a grandparent. And there's a lot on that front. A lot of people are having family members move in, and, just that sort of dynamic and the juggle, and it's something that a lot of women, I would say 97% of my followership would be women who are kind of my similar age and similar life situation. And so many of us are kind of in this middle ground now where you're parenting a child, you're parenting your children, and you're kind of, helping your parents now. And so it's definitely becoming a more common thing in my demographic right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's such a challenge.
It is.
Too.
It is a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's also interesting seeing like this industry for different age demographics and seeing like I love seeing more and more creators share different sides of life or different like what you're going through and also your experiences, and really both like the relatability and just all these human aspects of life and how beautiful and messy and different it can be at all these different stages. But it's also encouraging to see so many people like change their careers at all sorts of points.
Yeah, 1,000%. No, it's been incredible, and then sharing back and forth with my followers, who are in similar situations. It's a kind of bonding thing. Like I DM back and forth with people. It's kind of like you're texting with your friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I mean, there are some of them who have been there since day one. And so they know every little thing about my life, and I know about their lives, and I know what's going on with their families, and it's a relationship that a lot of people, I don't think, understand unless they're kind of in it. We know so much about each other, and they'll ask me questions about, a suggestion for something, or, hey, I saw you took your kids to XYZ summer camp. I know that you're very protective of them. Like, would you care to share, why you chose this one, or things like that. And it's just, I think it's because of that relationship that you develop, and that sort of trust and that like bond. And it's unlike other industries and other forms of advertising where it's just like a quick thing. I have relationships that are, almost a decade long online, and, we know so much about each other. And I think that's, you're not going to find that on other forms of advertising.
It's like it's a community, but it's also an intimate community.
Right.
I love that too, like recognizing people and like their names, like when they pop up and they have a question about something, and I'm like, I remember one gal, for my wedding we eloped, and I got like a random wedding dress that it wasn't even a wedding dress, it was a dress that was just like a normal like kind of gown, and I overnight shipped it for my wedding and wore it, and then this gal, she was like, oh my gosh, I need to wear that wedding dress, where'd you find that, all these things, and then she ended up sending me her wedding photos like a few months later, and I was like, what?
That's
wild. And like I love these moments of like, and plus like also with like sharing pregnancy or sharing like different life things. Oh my gosh, it is so cute seeing like I've had people like tell me like their exciting news or tell me like what they're going through or different things, like, and so you kind of get to follow someone's journey along with sharing your own journey with them.
I've had people share that they were pregnant before they told their spouse. And so I had to keep it a secret. And I'm like, gosh. I won't tell a soul. But they're like, I was so excited because we struggled to get pregnant, and everyone kind of, that's again part of my story that they know. And so I've had a few people share that, don't tell anyone, but we're pregnant. I'm like, this is so cool. I can't believe I get to know this.
Those secrets like that are so fun. It's so fun when you're like, what?
Right.
Or, yep. I remember one time a mutual of mine, I noticed she went and saved all of my pregnancy-related content at one point, and I was like,
oh, what are we doing here?
I'm not saying anything.
Not a peep. Your secret is safe. I love it.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it definitely speaks to kind of like the relationships that we get to have through this, and I think it's definitely, you're not going to find that, in any other media.
And this is the kind of thing that brands need to know too. Of like, this isn't like, it's not always about numbers and things. It's about like these relational impacts. There's so, and especially like when it comes to like bringing products into it and selling and all of the different things. It's the DMs. It's the, I got this size. The fabric weight is like this, or don't wash it this way. Wash it that, like, it's like those little extra details that really build like the connection, the sales, and all of those things. And like, exactly.
Well, and I love how you can put out an ad, and then like a few weeks will go by, and you'll still have people DMing you about the ad that you put out weeks or months ago. Like, hey, I remember you talked about, or in a story, hey, I remember a few months ago you talked about XYZ product. And da-da-da. Well, I got it, and I thought this, da-da-da. And it's, again, it's not just like a one-off. It's a slow build of things. And I think that's one thing that, I'm not sure if brands quite realize or pick up on, like how all of that is like a relationship, and you build it, and it's over time, and they purchase things based upon like these little breadcrumbs that you leave. And I think that long-term partnerships are always good for that particular reason, because you can kind of repeatedly show something like, this is something I continuously use in my house. It's not a one-off. And your followers get used to seeing that particular product over and over again, or like in subtle ways, even just in the background, or and they know that that's something that you use on the daily, and it kind of helps drop those breadcrumbs and
it's
lead
like
them that way.
Exactly. Like, you're not going to see us shop like one boutique one time.
Right.
We're there.
We love it. Yeah. We know the woman there.
Yeah, we know the owner. We know
Right.
all of the people working by name, and we love all the things. And I'm there every chance I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of thing. It's wonderful. I love it. And so, speaking of brands, speaking of content, and especially these long-term partnerships too, I would love to know more about your process with campaigns, whether it's one-off campaigns or long-term. What does your process look like from that first email, pitching ideas, to then your like how you create, kind of the timing of it even, and just like what the stages look like from your perspective?
So I typically like to talk with a brand on the phone. That's if I could have my say-so, we would chit-chat on the phone, because it kind of gives me an idea of what you're looking for in the fastest and like most effective way possible. Like all the nuances of exactly what you're looking for. And I've worked with a lot of brands who they've never even utilized Instagram. They hardly even have an Instagram themselves, like smaller ones. And so I kind of like to be able to explain to them like the benefit of, influencers, and the benefits of like the relationships that I've developed over time. I think that's something that not a lot of people are aware of, like on the back end of this. And so, I think just kind of a little chit chat, a little, hey, what exactly are you looking to achieve? Are you looking to achieve, getting a ton of people out to your event, this particular weekend? Are you looking to get them out to your place all summer long? Are you looking, to get them out there all year long? Like, what is your end game here with this? Mm-hmm. Are you just wanting like a quick build up, a quick, buzz kind of thing? Or do you want this like a long, sustained, kind of showcasing, your business, and showcasing your product over the long haul? Like, what are you looking to achieve here? And so kind of to give me some perspective, so I can go back and, really build something that works for what you're trying to achieve. And so, in my mind, I kind of have to get all of that settled. And then, from there, what are we looking to, to show? And how would it be best for you that I show it? Are you, some brands are very into, like, they want your personality to shine as the influencer. And some kind of want it more, based on, just circled around their product and things like that. And so what's your preference as a brand? Like, do you want a lot of da-da-da-da, like, or do you want a little less of that? And talking with them and kind of getting the vibe from them on what they're looking to achieve. And then, look and feel, what are we looking for here? What are you guys trying to convey? And what's sort of the style that we're, going for? And all of that, you kind of just take it back. And then I'll kind of, give them an idea of, okay, I think this would be the best, way of handling this. Some things tell better in stories. Some things go better in a reel. Some things better in, like a carousel or static post. Different ways of showing people things work, for different things. And so then I kind of come up with, I think this is the best game plan for us. This is kind of, where my brain is at with this. This is the feel that I'm going for. Take a look. Let me know what you think. Go through the key points for you that you really want conveyed here. What are some things that you don't want me to show? What are your hard stops? What are the things that 100% we have to include these particular items in, what we're showing people. And so kind of gather all that together and then bounce it over to the brand. And then from there, just get an idea. I always like to, give them the content, and then we have like a, agreed to number of edits and rounds of things where we fix, because I think on both of our parts, it's good to have like a solid, one round of edits or two, and that would be it. I think sometimes when we bounce things back and forth too much, it looks kind of messy and muddled. And so just having that, particularly with brands who've never gone through this process before, smaller ones, probably going through and correct, and editing something 15 times isn't the way it, it kind of looks, it doesn't look authentic. It starts to look messy. So, and just kind of conveying that over to them and how my process will work, and giving them deadlines for this is when, what are you looking for, August, or, back to school? Okay, well, we need to start a few months before then, if we do the round of edits, and just kind of informing them of the time frame for things.
Yeah, and that's a good argument for, like, consolidated feedback. Yeah. And tell me if I got this right, but it sounds like a lot of, like, the advice for brands here is get on a call.
Yeah.
And to have the questions in mind, or have the clear vision in mind of what you're looking for, whether it's like an awareness-based campaign or something more long-term. Are we going steady?
Yeah.
And then just having those do's and don'ts and those like clear expectations as soon as possible within the process. And the easiest way to do that is getting on a call and just like communicating clearly. And yeah, consolidated feedback is a big one.
Yeah. Like
the more feedback you can have in one round, the better.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. So speaking of advice and things, I feel like we've got some good advice going for brands. But what advice do you have for creators, whether starting out in that stage of wanting to go full time, or just what are like maybe two or so things that you wish every creator knew?
I would think probably just be yourself. If you are coming online and it's not how you are at all, everybody's gonna know it. Like it's very disingenuous. It's very fake. I'm not, the cool girl. I'm not out at the parties. I'm not out at, like, you're not gonna find. I have my followers. I'm like, can you dress me? Like, I don't know what to. Like, I'm never going to be the girl, like, showing you, oh, this goes great, because I don't know. I'm not an outfit girl. Like, I have my strengths, and I have my things that I'm kind of more home and food and that sort of thing, and products. And they know my little quirks and my little things and about clothing and things like that. And so if I were to ever show them, like, a really high heel, they'd be like, she is not wearing like, it would just be so disingenuous to me, like, if I took some sort of high heel, brand deal or whatever, because they would be like, what? Like, she is not wearing a heel, and everybody knows it. And so I would say just, being true to yourself, more so than anything. And the things that, I guess other people might find unusual about you, or your, like, quirky little hobbies and your little things, like, people love that. I'm a tomato gardener. That's my thing. I grow, like, the best tomatoes, and I'm, like, crazy bountiful harvest. Like, I am the tomato girl. And so...
Oh, my God. I did not know this.
Oh, yes. I am a garden girl.
I always say that, like, my goal in life is to have a tomato garden someday.
Oh, I will grow you some tomatoes. Yeah.
I remember hearing that, like, there's some town in Italy where some of, like, the oldest people in the world live.
Oh.
And they live such long, like, fruitful lives... Partly because, for so many reasons. One of them being they grow a lot of their own food, including tomatoes. Yep. They walk everywhere. Like, their lifestyle
the blue
is very,
zone.
like...
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, tomato garden lifestyle is, like, elite.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Yep.
And just little things like that, like, and, kind of showcase some of the quirky little things about yourself. People love that. I can leg press like more than most people. And part of my lore, I have incredible calves.
Oh my goodness.
And it was like, it kind of turned into this whole thing. And then every time I wear something, they're like, your calves look incredible. Calves fire. Da 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 da. They go on. So it's like tomato gardening, strong calf muscle. Like I have all of these weird little things, but in the end, like that's what makes me, and that's what makes that's what people.
It's like, this is how you're gonna remember me.
You're gonna remember calves and tomatoes. It sounds so silly, but those are my things. So again, be yourself. Gosh, what else? I would just say just start. And I think, there's no better time than now. Probably, 5 years ago even would have been better, but start now. And, just go for it and put yourself out there. And, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And, you would be shocked, I think, at the number of people that are making this a successful thing for themselves, especially now. And so I would say just go for it and, see what happens.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's so good. Plus, like, the industry's still growing and still doing all sorts of wonderful things.
Yep.
Yay. Awesome.
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
Oh,
and great. Like, wow, I love all these, like, different nuggets and tomatoes, man.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Okay.
Wonderful.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you
and
so much
just,
for
like,
having me.
chatting and all these things. I love all of the insight from parenting and creating and your own story, and then just like all the different things that both like brands and creators can learn from this. But yeah,
Awesome.
thank you so
much. This is wonderful. Thank you.
We did it! Woo, woo, woo. That was so good.
Yeah.